What if the secret to mastering your life wasn't hidden in hustle or chaos, but in stillness, awareness, and ancient discipline? Welcome to the Shaolin Spirit, a journey into the heart of over 1,500 years of wisdom from the legendary Shaolin Temple. Today, we're exploring the teachings of Shi Heng Shi, a modern Shaolin master who blends time-honored practices with real-world application. This is more than a philosophy. It's a toolkit to transform your mind, body, and soul. Stay tuned as we walk through 12 powerful chapters that will help you master discipline, develop inner strength, and uncover your true self. Chapter 1. It's all about the now. Shi Heng Shi begins with a question that cuts through the noise of daily life. Are you living fully in this moment? This chapter emphasizes that the essence of the Shaolin path lies in the practice of mindfulness, not as a trend, but as a way of life. In every bow, every breath, and every movement, a Shaolin practitioner cultivates a focused awareness of the present. The message is simple yet transformative. The only place life truly unfolds is in the now. Shi Heng Shi invites us to explore what it means to be fully alive in this instant. He poses questions we often avoid. How is your sleep? Your relationships? Your emotions? Are you living authentically or simply reacting to expectations placed upon you? The chapter introduces the idea that loyalty is a central virtue in Shaolin philosophy. Loyalty isn't blind obedience. It's a deeply rooted sense of trust and integrity. Loyalty to self, to others, to your principles. This inner stability becomes a sanctuary amid life's chaos. By practicing mindfulness, you begin to observe life rather than be consumed by it. You discover the calm beneath the storm. The present moment, according to Shi Heng Shi, is the only place where transformation is possible. Whether you're facing joy or hardship, the way you meet this moment determines everything. He likens life to an ocean wave, rising and falling. Instead of resisting the wave, the Shaolin path teaches you to find stillness in the rise and fall. You learn that peace is not the absence of turbulence, but the presence of inner balance. The practical takeaway? Begin your transformation not tomorrow, but now. Watch your breath. Feel your body. Acknowledge your thoughts without being swept away. In that awareness lies your freedom. Chapter 2. Control of body and mind. The hallmark of a Shaolin warrior is not only physical prowess, but an extraordinary degree of self-mastery. In this chapter, Shi Heng Shi explores the dual training of body and mind. He uses compelling examples from the monastery. Imagine undergoing a test where you must hear an emotionally intense story, joyous or tragic, and show no reaction. Then, moments later, retell it with all its original emotion. This practice isn't about emotional suppression. It's about emotional understanding and intentionality. Shi Heng Shi teaches that pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. Monks endure intense training to understand this distinction. Instead of flinching from discomfort, they observe it, breathe through it, and in doing so, rewire their brains. This is now backed by neuroscience. Shaolin training changes how the brain processes pain. Emotional control is presented not as cold stoicism, but as compassionate presence. To truly master the mind means to observe emotions without becoming them. For instance, when anger arises, a Shaolin master doesn't deny it. He observes it as a passing cloud. He acknowledges it without letting it dictate his actions. Shi Heng Shi encourages us to embrace what he calls the valley of pain. This is the space where growth happens. It's where we meet ourselves in discomfort, confront our limits, and move beyond them. It's not about numbing pain, but using it as a teacher. The body, too, is a gateway to mindfulness. Through practices like breath control, posture awareness, and stillness, we access deeper layers of consciousness. We become more than reactive beings. We become creators of our internal landscape. Chapter 3. Buddhism and the Shaolin Way. The roots of the Shaolin path run deep in Chan, Zen Buddhism. This chapter explains why no true Shaolin path exists without inner cultivation. Shi Heng Shi outlines the four noble truths. 1. Life involves suffering. 2. Suffering arises from craving and ignorance. 3. There's a way to end suffering. 4. The way is the Eightfold Path. The Eightfold Path isn't a list to memorize. It's a life to embody. Right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, right concentration. Each principle interlocks with the next, forming a moral and mental framework to live by. What makes this practical is how Shi Heng Shi applies it to daily life. Right speech, for example, means more than avoiding lies. It means choosing words that heal, uplift, and clarify. Right livelihood means pursuing work that does no harm to others, to the planet, or to yourself. Through meditation, a practitioner begins to experience impermanence. Nothing lasts. Not joy, not sorrow. Clinging brings suffering. Letting go brings peace. The chapter reaffirms, Kung Fu and Buddhism are two sides of one coin. One strengthens the body, the other liberates the mind. Together, they form the complete warrior. Chapter 4. Childhood and Shaolin Beginnings. Shi Heng Shi's journey didn't begin with perfection. It began with questions, struggle, and persistence. He recounts early experiences of training, starting martial arts as a child. The early lessons weren't just physical, they were deeply character-forming. Mistakes, injuries, and setbacks became part of his growth. One of the most powerful moments he describes is the realization that discipline is freedom. Through structure, he discovered purpose. Through repetition, he found transformation. The chapter paints a vivid picture. A young boy facing freezing dawns, exhausting routines, and internal resistance, only to discover strength he never imagined. This was the forging of a master. Importantly, his story shows that anyone can walk the path. You don't need to be born into it. You just need the courage to begin and the patience to persist. Chapter 5. Building a Solid Foundation. This chapter introduces the ancient standing meditation of Zhan Zhuang, standing like a tree. To the untrained eye, it looks like nothing. A person stands still, arms extended, breathing slow. But inside, a storm is calmed. Zhan Zhuang is about internal alignment. You hold still, and the body starts speaking. You feel tension, restlessness, even pain. But you don't move. You breathe. You observe. And slowly, your awareness deepens. Shi Heng explains that this practice rewires your nervous system. It cultivates rootedness, presence, and inner power. Like a tree in the wind, you stand unmoved by external chaos. This foundational practice is essential because without a solid root, nothing can grow. It teaches patience, inner listening, and how to build energy rather than deplete it. Over time, you learn to generate stability from within. Chapter 6. Becoming aware of your mindset. The mind is both your greatest ally and your greatest saboteur. Shi Heng explores how most people live in a state of unconscious reaction. We respond from old patterns, fears, and stories we never examined. In this chapter, he introduces 3 mental states that affect our perception. 1. The scattered mind, restless, impulsive, distracted. 2. The contracted mind, rigid, fearful, withdrawn. 3. The open mind, focused, expansive, creative. Our goal is to move toward the open mind. This requires observation. You watch your thoughts like clouds in the sky. You don't chase or resist. You simply notice. Letting go becomes a central theme. Letting go of control, of narratives, of attachments. Not by force, but by awareness. What you observe, you can change. The body also plays a role. Shi Heng emphasizes deep embodiment, feeling your breath, posture, and sensations. The more tuned in you are to your physical form, the more clarity you gain in your mental world. This chapter is a powerful reminder. Your mindset creates your reality. By training the mind, you train your entire life path. Chapter 7. Character Formation through Shaolin Kung Fu. In this chapter, Shi Heng Shi dives deep into the ethical and moral heart of Shaolin. Wuda, the way of virtue. Kung Fu, often mistaken solely as a martial art, is revealed here as a disciplined practice of character. It's not about mastering others, but about mastering yourself. Wuda includes two vital layers of virtues. 1. The virtues that are expected, such as humility, respect, and gratitude. 2. The virtues that must be cultivated, like patience, perseverance, and compassion. Shi Heng Shi explains that every movement in Shaolin Kung Fu should be imbued with moral clarity. You don't throw a punch in anger. You act with purpose and control. Combat becomes a mirror through which one sees the ego, the fears, the impulses, and learns to tame them. He presents martial training as a path to understand discipline, justice, and harmony. Each form practiced is not just physical choreography, but a reflection of internal balance. When practiced with awareness, Kung Fu becomes a living meditation. This chapter reminds us that true power is never brute force. It lies in restraint, in dignity, and in acting from principles rather than emotion. Kung Fu, when guided by Wuda, transforms you into a peaceful warrior. Chapter 8. Love what you do. Follow your passion sounds like a cliché, but Shi Heng Shi reframes it. It's not just about doing what you love, it's about loving what you do. This chapter explores the interplay between freedom and discipline. Most people believe freedom means no rules. But in Shaolin philosophy, freedom comes from structure. It's the ability to express yourself fully because you've done the inner work. He challenges the reader. What path are you walking? Is it your own or someone else's? Finding your personal way requires courage, to step off beaten paths, to defy cultural expectations, to explore unknown territory. Shi Heng encourages us to commit to something meaningful. When we find what resonates deeply and apply discipline to it, we create greatness. Whether that's an art, business, relationships, or spiritual life, the principle remains: alignment plus effort equals fulfillment. True passion, he explains, isn't always fun. It's often messy, tiring, and challenging. But when you love the process, even the pain becomes purposeful. That's when you're living with the Shaolin spirit. Chapter 9. Journey toward inner clarity. Inner clarity doesn't arise by chance. It is cultivated. This chapter invites you to let go, not just of material things, but of identities, wounds, and outdated beliefs. Shi Heng Shi uses powerful metaphors, like releasing a heavy backpack you didn't realize you were carrying. He introduces visualization practices designed to help you shed what no longer serves you. For example, visualizing placing your fears or regrets into a stream and watching them float away. These mental practices are not escape tactics. They are tools to cleanse the mind. A key lesson is that growth requires space. When you let go, you create room for insight, peace, and purpose. Shi Heng Shi also discusses pain, not to avoid it, but to befriend it. Pain often signals growth. Instead of running from discomfort, lean in, breathe through it, and in doing so, you transform it. Inner clarity means acting from your essence, not your ego. It means decisions guided by wisdom, not wounded patterns. It's a return to your center, your true self. Chapter 10. Developing Body Awareness. This chapter returns us to the body as the gateway to awakening. Shi Heng Shi emphasizes that body awareness is more than posture or fitness. It is the ability to listen to your body's signals with attention and respect. He introduces specific breathing techniques and movement exercises that increase physical sensitivity. For example, focusing on the rhythm of your steps or the expansion of your lungs. The goal is not performance, but presence. Your body, he teaches, is a map. It reflects your emotions, your stress, and your habits. Learning to read this map gives you incredible insight. Tension in the jaw might point to unspoken anger. Slouch posture might reflect self-doubt. Shi Heng Shi reminds us that ignoring the body leads to disconnection, but tuning in unlocks power. When you move consciously, breathe intentionally, and rest deliberately, you align with life's natural rhythm. The practice of body awareness grounds you. It makes you strong not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. Chapter 11. Cultivating Inner Sensitivity. Sensitivity, in the Shaolin tradition, is a sign of spiritual strength. Shi Heng Shi begins this chapter by challenging the modern view of sensitivity as weakness. Instead, he reveals how cultivating inner sensitivity leads to greater empathy, intuition, and harmony. He shares testimonials from people who have reclaimed their lives by reconnecting with their inner senses, regaining emotional balance, reconnecting with their true nature, and healing past wounds. This sensitivity is not about being reactive. It's about being receptive, listening more deeply to your heart, to others, to nature. Shi Heng Shi draws attention to how modern life numbs us through noise, distraction, and overstimulation. Sensitivity is the antidote. It restores our connection to what matters. He encourages us to simplify, to listen, and to tune back into the natural world. In silence, in stillness, we rediscover who we are. To be sensitive is to be awake. Chapter 12. The Inner Pendulum. Life swings. So do we. This chapter presents one of the deepest insights in the book. Life is not linear. It moves in cycles, in rhythms, like a pendulum. We swing between joy and sadness, action and rest, clarity and confusion. Shi Heng Shi says the key isn't to stop the swing, it's to find your center. He introduces the concept of acting from connection, from a place of rooted presence rather than impulsive reaction. When you're centered, your actions become intentional and wise, even amid emotional swings. Rather than resisting life's changes, you flow with them. You recognize the ebb and flow as natural, and in that, you stop clinging. Shi Heng Shi also talks about the danger of extremes. If we chase constant excitement or perfection, we lose our grounding. But if we cultivate awareness, we stay anchored. The Shaolin warrior, he says, moves like water, flexible, calm, and steady. That is the spirit of the middle path. So, what does it mean to live with the Shaolin spirit? It means standing tall when the world shakes. It means cultivating discipline not to be rigid, but to be resilient. It means honoring silence, because in silence, we hear the truth of who we are. Mastering your life isn't about perfection. It's about practice, day by day, breath by breath. If this message resonated with you, leave a comment, share this video, and subscribe for more life-changing book summaries. Until next time, stay rooted, stay present, and master your life.